so what we're going to do is a tour of the back of the set. Let's have a quick look at the front. You can see it's just a C-shaped set, and there's a window there, and there's a door over here. And then if you come around back, this isn't built anywhere near what you'd normally put together. This is a bunch of students, I think, put this together with very little guidance, or no guidance. You have one whaler up the top here, or stiffener, depending on what region you're in, the name for that changes. And it's basically two pieces of 1x3 pine, in this case that are put together by a 1/2-inch crown stapler. And it's holding these flats, these three flats here, straight for the door unit. And the door unit is made up of a plug on the top and two full 10-foot flats. They look like they're about 16 inches on either side.
You can see because the whaler ends right here, there's actually nothing keeping this seam between this flat and this flat straight, and that's why this flat has so much play to it.
Yeah.
So ideally you want your whaler to come all the way across and bridge every single one of your seams.
Other things that you'll notice on the back of the flats, if you're ever leaving a set standing for other people to be around, things you should never do, a nail hanging out the back, massive screw pulling the flats together, another screw here, all these fasteners on the back there. There would be normally a whaler there at 2-foot height. This is a jack. It's not a jack a jack style that I actually like, but it's here, so it works. We'll use it. One of the reasons I don't like it is the triangular bracing as part of this piece of plywood here doesn't go up high enough to actually give this more than just flex strength for the last foot. Another jack here, you can see all the fasteners, just tons of them, and this is my favorite corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 massive fasteners just hanging at the side. The second you pull this apart, you're going to tear your hands. The only time I've ever seen anybody go to the hospital from doing work on flats is when they were moving a piece of scenery and someone left a screw hanging in the back of it. This is, there's obviously a fastener just hanging out here, but this is a flat on wheels. It's about 20 years old. It was built to take a beating. It's missing, I think, some of the framing that I would like in the back here, but look at all of the old fasteners that have just been left in the back here that are just waiting for someone to hurt themselves on. You can see up at the top there the triangulation that they've put in here to keep these from flexing. It's one of the reasons I think it's lasted the 20 years with student abuse. The back of this wall, there are no whalers going across. You normally have a whaler at 2 foot and at 8 foot on a 10-foot flat. And I think that jack is just sitting there. I actually don't even think it's screwed into anything. Yep. So that's also a no-no.
You can see how much flex this has.
Yeah. It's got no strength. And what that'll do, aside from ruining the seam on the front, is it'll start tearing apart the flat over time. And when the flat's lying down on the ground, never step on it right there on the one. That's a good way to pop off a seam, or up there. And then you can come around the corner here, and the way this corner is put together, I've done it. Everybody who's worked in studio flats has done it this way, but they've never screwed in through the luan. Normally what you do when you have two flats butted together is the back of the flat and this flat are flush, and you screw through the side of the stile into the face of the stile there. It's not a great corner. The best way to do a corner, in my humble opinion, is to run a whaler right up the corner and to attach them that way. It gives a lot more meat and strength and stability.
You can see that with these flats, there's a ton of jacks in use here. So there's 4 on that side, there's 3 in use and 1 just spare on this side. If this was properly braced, like if this corner was nice and straight, and if we actually had proper whaler, you wouldn't need this many jacks. It would actually be stronger with fewer jacks and more whaler and better joints. Because this corner right here should be giving a ton of strength to this wall, but because we're only going through the actual skin, it's not.
No, I mean, I don't think, Mike, there's any use in trying to, with this particular setup, with nothing on the back done, there's a nice big fasteners hanging out the back there. With the way this is put together, I think we just crack it right apart completely and it's built from scratch. If this were whaled, and I think you're absolutely right, if this were whaled properly right across there, I would say because it's got a strong corner here and it's got if we were going 12 feet right?
Yep.
There's an argument to be made that it's 12 feet, there's a whaler right across there, and since they've asked us to give them as much space as possible, I don't even think we should put a jack on this side.
No.
I think we could just float it right back into the wall here, and that'll give them so much more room on the other side.
Absolutely.
What they said they'd like is a crawl space to be able to get at the plugs. So I would say we just go 2 feet on the tile floor, and in a studio like this, although they're a pain to work in because you're always trashing the tiles, I think I called it parquet earlier. Oops, it's not wood. Because it's a square tile floor, you can really easily see where 2 feet is to line up to, so that's kind of nice, but this kind of tile will not serve well over the long term, it'll just get beaten up. So I'd say we bring this wall, just leave it 12 feet across, whaled, and put it right here. And then from the corners, we build out.
Now, James said earlier that it's going to be easiest just to take this apart and actually take it down completely, put whaler on it, do whatever we need to do, and then stand it back up. It might seem counterintuitive that we're going to take all this apart just to put it back together again, but the nice thing about putting together flats when they're like from scratch is we can actually do it on the floor. And when we're attaching whaler and we're attaching flats together and we're doing it all on the floor, we have a nice flat surface to actually work on, and we don't need to be on ladders. We can actually just be on the floor and then stand the entire thing up when it's done.
All right, well, I think that's just about enough talking.
Sounds
All
good.
right. So, Mike and I chatted, and we came up with a plan. We're gonna pop off this window, stand it off to the side, remove this flat, push it off to the side, separate this rolling flat here, and then float in this wall here. But before we do any of that, Mike's just going around and pulling all the fasteners. As am I. Pull that sandbag. We're going to pull this wall up against the wall. Don't put it in the middle, put it on the outside because you're going to get access to it. And then get to the outside of the wall. And then what you want to do is you crouch down, and then put your hand on the 2 foot, and then you slightly stand and just slide it back. Very good. Now you can re-wig it. I'm going to pop off this corner, boys. So if you can stand on the jack, move the weight out of the way.
Not only did they put it together with number 10s, but like 2 1/4 inch.
Yeah, if you can put that to stand up. Do you know how to move the flat? That or that. And just crouch down and stand up. Okay? Can you get those sandbags in the stack? Did that screw get picked up yet when I knocked on the ground? Boys, why don't you get a sweeper?
You guys have this?
And a shovel of some type. Mike, I want to crack the seam here.
Yeah.
Does it need cutting?
No.
There's a
Oh,
jack.
you know what? Sorry, there actually is. There's fiberglass on it.
Is that it? Crack?
Yep.
Yep. I forgot that one was on wheels.
You think it was dipping?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what the hell? All right.
Yeah.
So, JLS, we're going to float this in. So what that means to you is don't stand over here.
Okay.
Because the dust will float up into your eyes, even if you're wearing safety glasses. And it looks kind of dangerous because it's going to fall, but it's kind of cool how it stops at the end. We all unweighted? Yep. All right. Coming in.